and it's Thursday, the 9th of May 2013, and it's about nearly 12 o'clock in New York, and it's late afternoon in Europe. Let's just have a look at the session, and it's been a bit of a false break-up, and I want to show you a couple of things. First of all, there's our big center line we're aiming for, tantalizingly close. We've also got this, if you remember, this big fork here off the gap, and I keep going on about it every time, but don't forget it, because that's what we've run into. If you look there, I suggest that that is what this is about. I don't think this is a breakdown at all, and that brings me to where have we found support. You guys should have worked this one out. All we do is we look at, I know there's a lot of forks here, and if you're not used to it, it looks pretty crazy, but let's have a look at this big black boy here, this black fork here. It's using the top of the non-farm payrolls last Friday, that high, this week's intra-week low, and the high from yesterday. And just let's pop that down and go down to the 5 minute, tighten these pivots up, and you really need to make sure that they are, especially if you're drawing reaction lines from them, at least in the 5 minute, if not in the one. Check every one of your pivots, go back, and oh, beautiful, beautiful. Let's have a look at that again. There we go. Not, yeah, don't get me wrong, I didn't know it was going to pop up there, but that is one of the bullish lines, upsloping center lines that it can be heading for. Okay, now this is a nasty business today. I guess I wasn't alone in thinking I didn't like that gap from my broker anyway, but you know, I didn't like this move up. We failed, and in fact, shortly after the opening, we had this 1, 2, 3. Forget what came after, and you can see what we had was, if we take it down to this pivot, we had a touch on this, and working it back, it's a fail. Okay, so we are caught in, and let's get rid of that because that's of no use whatsoever. We are caught in a band of reaction lines, and I want to show you some of them. This is one I've drawn in manually because that is the location in another time frame. This one here, F1. F1 is the fork that is one of these forks that's drawn off. That's F, and that's F1. Okay, the mauve fork there. Again, using this pivot. I always do this when we get a big move up. Always look for one of these bars. The first, that's a perfect, and if you break it down, I'm not going to go down to a lower time frame, but it always works. The reaction lines will from it work, as you can see here. Look at this beautiful touch. Is that F1? That's F. All right. Well, you know, look, these two pivots and these two here. We need to at least acknowledge that price is still moving in these forks. Okay, so that is not a huge high time frame reaction line, but it certainly seems to have some interaction with price. And let's have a look in another. This was this morning. I want to show you this. You see this one here? This is from April. This is April. Let me introduce you to April. Sound like a dirty old man now, don't I? Look, this is April, the fork here, which is what is called a controlling swing. This low, this high here, and this low here. Okay, that is April. And you'll say to me, well, hold on a second. The reaction's on the other side of the line. Drop down to the 15-minute, and look at that. Beautiful. What a lovely touch. And you know, this is the it's not just on MetaTrader, eSignal, Ensign, Windows. What else have I got experience of? A whole load of platforms that I've played around with. Televent. They all have this anomaly. And remember, this is data. This is our interpretation of data using these bars and candles. But you see now we have the line bang over the reaction line that's drawn automatically from those pivots of the April fork, and now we've got two locations. That will be April, and you'll get a reaction on both lines. You get a reaction on this line, and you get that's what's called a mirror line, and it's all covered in the course. And if you want to make sense of this, instead of letting me probably just confuse you, or just experiment yourself, you can find out all this yourself. Just start drawing the forks with the reaction lines, and then trying to isolate the exact location. I've spent a lot of years trying to work out the exact location of a line, which sounds absolutely absurd, but you can prove it, and it's just all to do with data representation and the anomalies of our data presentation systems. Right, let's have a look here. So what's price doing? Where are we going? As I said, I think this upsloping for, there's our, again, this is a different cover, final. That is my final objective for the moment, and then I'm looking for a retracement. I don't think we're going to fail. I think we'll have maybe another spike up, but by the time we get up there, we're talking about the mid 30s now. Obviously, I want to wait. I'm out today. I'm flat. We got stopped out on an early position, and you know, it's a mess. It's a mess. We need to see what happens to price here. Have we broken? Is this a touchback? Are we moving up? The trouble is there's more than one line involved here, as you can see. Here's another. We've just seen that one. Let's move to another. And you know, you need to be able to. These are a band of reaction lines from fork 17 and the FNL. Um, you can see we've also found support there. There are other downside targets, but I did write on the blog this morning, if we held above 1623, 1624, I thought we were still in with a chance. What I don't want to see is, you know, any more on the downside. There are, if you draw the forks yourself, there's some big forks that can be drawn, which take us back to 1610, 1611, and you know, I guess that would put the kibosh on us reaching. And I just don't see it. I think yes, the market's extremely overbought. Yes, you know, all the indicators are showing us the market's overbought, but I've seen this, you know, a million times before. That time will come, and I don't think we're there yet. I think this 1635, then we'll start to talk about looking for weakness and looking for a correction. I may be wrong. This may be a fail, of course. That's the other possibility. We may, but having said that, this doesn't look like a fail to me. You know, we're moving. We're not barring down in great gallops. It looks to me as if we're holding our. We've found support. We may well pop up and move sideways and then break out tomorrow from around this region here, 1627, 1628. We'll have to get through all these lines. Let's have one look at one more. There we are. There's our objective. Here are some of the same lines plus, you know, plus another. There's a, you know, let's get rid of that. We're through that now. You can see. Here we go. This is BZZ, which is the F1 fork from the original pivots post the Friday's move. Look, you know, I don't think this is going to be an easy journey, and I don't think there's a trade in it yet. I'd rather see a nice straight bars like this. We want to be involved in that sort of movement, you know, and we want to see a definite buy or a sell from our Andrews and associated theory, and that's what we're waiting for. We're not tossing a coin here with this, and at the moment you can see this. That's great. This fork again, you know, that is a great reaction line, and I guess that's worth watching for the next half an hour. I'll watch to see. We've got some more sharp downsloping reaction lines to come. Anyway, here we are. Watch this. This is a bullish touch on the upsloping reaction line that can be drawn from all the data post last week's non-farm payrolls, okay, including the high, okay. You know, the one I mentioned at the beginning. Let's see if this holds, and we'll be back later.